Hello students, in today's lecture we will be discussing about software development life cycle. Software development life cycle involves different steps that are required to create a system. From conceiving the idea of creating a system to the final development of the entire system, SDLC provides a framework for different tasks involved in this process. SDLC is basically responsible for the development, maintenance, replacement, and alteration or enhancement of different softwares. Basically, it is a methodology. It is a methodology that is required to improve the quality of software or create a software that can be really helpful to an organization. SDLC is a theoretical concept that involves different steps that will be required to create that system or the software. The various stages of SDLC are: number one, feasibility study, then is requirement and specification, design, coding, testing, and maintenance. And all these stages will be discussed further in the slides. Starting with the feasibility study. Feasibility study is basically involves whether the idea of creating the system is okay or not. It is a very crucial step. In this step itself, it will be decided whether the system should be developed or should not be developed. It covers three stages. Number one is an abstract problem definition. That is, it involves a definition of what is required in the system, why is it required, and by whom it is required. Then formulation of different solution strategies. For example, there are two strategies, A and B, right, which are having different outcomes or use different steps. So we have to decide either we have to go for the A or the B. Third, analysis of alternative solution strategies to compare their benefits and shortcomings. Any system that is created is basically created for the sake of some benefits to the organization. We never create a system that will not be helpful to the organization or the users. So whatever solution is chosen, we need to analyze the different benefits that will be gained from that system. Then the various steps involved in feasibility analysis. Number one is we need to create a project team in which there needs to be a project leader. This project team will actually analyze the entire problem step by step and will decide whether to move on with the development of the system or not. Then develop system flowchart. System flowchart is basically a diagrammatic representation of how the data will flow from one module to the other, or how these components will communicate with each other. Third, identify the deficiency of current system and set goals. This is a crucial step already existing. Suppose there's a manual system for updating data and we are moving to an automated one. So we need to analyze what is the deficiency in the manual system which has caused the rise of a new system, which has caused the need of a new system. Then enumerate the alternative solution or potential candidate system to meet goals. We need to see what possibilities can happen or what possibilities are there that we can use to create a new system. Then determine the feasibility of each alternative. Basically, the feasible term itself means, is it possible or not? So whatever alternatives we have for different systems or whatever alternatives we have to create that system, we need to analyze it on terms of technical, operational, and cost benefits. So cost feasibility. Then weight the performance and cost effectiveness of each candidate system. No matter whichsoever user is asking to create the system or which wants a new system, always go on terms of cost and benefits. And these are two very essential properties, right? If somebody is investing 10,000 to create a system, then obviously wants a benefit of at least some amount of the cost incurred to create that system. Then rank the other alternatives and select the best candidate system. Whatever the alternatives are there, A, B, C, D, E, we need to rank it according to our benefits and according to our cost that we can use to create the system. Then a system proposal is prepared where all these points will be listed and forwarded to the entire rest of the team or the managers to create or to initiate the development of system or to stop the development of system. These are the different steps involved in feasibility study. Number one is, as discussed, identify implementation alternatives. This is important. If there are solution A, B, C, D, E, we need to identify them. Then determine the economic feasibility, determine the technical feasibility, determine the operational feasibility, identify the risk, and choose an alternative. All these points are discussed in further in the slides. Types of feasibility. Number one is economic feasibility. Very important and very essential. Basically, it involves whatever cost will be incurred in creating the system. Suppose I have 10,000 rupees and I if an organization wants a system, that organization needs to ensure that it has all the technical requirements. Suppose the hardware, the software, or the whatever things are required to install the system, that involves technical feasibility. It could be whatever the system require, all the possibilities or all the solutions are there. Then operational feasibility, most important is whosoever will be using that system needs to have the skill to operate that system. That comes under this, that whatever users we are having, we need to ensure that they have the skills to operate that system. Behavioral feasibility, basically it involves that the system, when it is installed in the organization, how it will be affecting the users that are already there. It may even lead to some people to leave their jobs, or we need to hire people. So whatever the system will be incorporated in that organization, we need to ensure that the users of that system are actually having benefits, and plus that the users already existing in the organization are being positive towards that system. Schedule feasibility, that is whatever system an organization wants, they are basically creating to do certain tasks. So two scenarios are here. Firstly, if I need a system in 1 month, then that system should be developed in that timeline. Also, that whatever task that system is being created, that should be also completed in that certain specific time. That is what is meant by schedule feasibility. That is, project should be completed within given time, constraint, or schedule. Then comes the design phase, another crucial one. Design phase basically involves that how our system needs to look. In the third point, it is discussed. In the design phase, the SDLC process continues to move from what questions of the analysis phase to how. Basically, it will give us both the logical design and the physical design of all the components. And it is basically, the design phase is shown in terms of flowchart, data flow diagrams, data dictionary, structured English, decision table, decision tree. These we can either draw on software copies so that we can know what essential components needs to be there, how the data in our system will flow from one module to the other. It is basically a demo of the actual system that will be created. Testing phase, an important phase. Testing involves that whether the system will work or properly or not. Testing involves whether the system will work properly or not. Suppose we are buying a car, we obviously need to test run it, that whether it is good, it is working nicely, or it is the car is driving smoothly, and also the car is giving the perfect mileage and everything. Similarly, when we want to install a software or a system in an organization, before installation, we need to ensure that whatever data we'll be working upon, the system is giving us the best result. And it is basically of two types. One is program test, the other is system test. Program test involves testing each program or each module individually and then compiling all the modules together. System test is that once the whole system is developed, we are running a test on it. So program test could be also called as a module testing from time to time. It need not be done at the end. Once every module is getting ready, we can test it. Then system test involves the testing of the entire system. Implementation phase, another important phase. Implementation phase basically involves the final installation of the system at the user's end. This involves acquisition and installation of hardware and software. That means whatever hardware or software is required for running that system, that is already available. Then conversion, that is from one system that is already existing in the organization, moving on to the new system that is being installed. User training, whichever users will be using that system, we need to ensure that they are trained properly. Then documentation, no matter whatever the system is, it needs to be documented so that whichever user want to use it for future references, he or she can look into those documentations. Then implementation phase includes these four important questions. Number one, how to execute the package. That is how to run that exe file on your systems. How to actually run that system finally by the users. How to enter data, also the different types of data, and then how the data will be processed on that system, then finally the output. So this entire process is called changeover.